Good afternoon, COVIDians. Slightly different position, broadcasting from the kitchen. Got my German t-shirt on, still busily trying to learn German. And, well, I suppose gradually getting a little bit better. If I look a bit red in the face, it's just a bit hot in here. It's not high blood pressure. Okay, I'm going to begin because everyone is talking about flags. I know last week I posted from George Orwell's 1984, and thank you so much for your response to that video. I hope you still remember it will be illegal to show that in UK schools, just to show how close to totalitarianism Britain is now getting. But a new response, okay? As I say, still trying to learn German. And as we've been talking about flags, I'm going to read you something with the English translation underneath, so please, if anyone can help me with my German, add your comments or put a video. I'm quite happy. I don't claim to speak perfect German. I can probably read it more because I spend more time reading it than I do speaking it. But I'm going to read to you something that I think you need to hear. It's called the hoisted slid. In German, W is a V. The hoisted slid. The hoisted song. It's the song that the Nazis used to love to sing, the brown battalions, you'll hear them mentioned here, when marching the streets and waving those huge swastikas in public. Not tiki torchlight parades, because tiki torch parades didn't come until American-style Nazis, but just a bit of a warning about flags, yeah? Because everyone likes waving flags. So listen to the words of the hoisted song and my try at pronouncing them in German. I'm going to have to just look at my notes for this, okay? The song begins. Die Fahne hoch der Rehen fest geschlossen. It's a barking dog in the background, by the way. The flag is high, our ranks are closed. Sorry about Barky Dog, she lives next door. Next line. SA marschreit mit ruhig festem Schritt. Not sure that's right. The SA marches with silent, solid steps. I like the alliteration there. And here's the third bit. Kameraden, die Rotfront und Reaktion erschlossen. Kameraden der Rotfront und Reaktion erschossen. Comrades shot by the Red Front and Reaction. Marsche im Geist, in unser Rechen mit. March in spirit with us in our ranks. Now the one bit that I would always remember, I always get the translation wrong, but I'll try and get the translation right this time. Very important verse. De Straße frei den braunen Bataillonen. De Straße frei den braunen Bataillonen. The street is free for the brown battalions. Die Straße frei dem Sturmbataillon. I'm going to get this right. Die Straße frei dem Sturm, a Bataillonsmann. The street is free for the stormtroopers. Es schauen Hakenkreuz. Es schauen auf Hakenkreuz. Voll Hoffnung schon Millionen. Millions full of hope. Look at our swastika. Final bit I'm going to read. There is more, but I don't want to go on. Okay? Der Tag für Freiheit und für Brot bricht an. The day breaks for freedom and for bread. Now, why on earth would I, who studies German, was born there in 1958, will be 63 this year, was delivered on a British base by a British Army doctor in a British Army hospital in the region of Hoisted, Germany. Yeah, I think one of the closest cities is Munich, or we could say München. Yeah, why would I quote from the Nazi marching song? Terrible song. But watch it, if you would. Patriotism, flag waving, blind allegiance, Union Jacks draping from every building, plastering everything from shirts to underwear to, I don't know, one of the Spice Girls' knickers. Yeah. Be careful, right? Because that kind of patriotism has been hijacked by the far right, by the kind of people who hijacked the German flag and who marched to those lyrics. It's hijacked. Samuel Johnson said, another person called Johnson, by the way, and I think this applies to Keir Starmer and many who take this position, patriotism is the last refuge of the scoundrel. Just let that sink in. Patriotism is the last refuge of the scoundrel. Of course, I believe in the essential goodness of our country, but I don't see a lot of that around in the people that go waving these damn flags, and quite often they are the same ones who, as part of Brexit, wanted to kick the migrants out. They are the same ones who wave that Union Jack, often in the guise of as Tory MPs, and then think, well, we should detain illegals, asylum seekers, in dreadful conditions, disused army barracks, Napier barracks, surrounded with wire, where there's been a fire, where the conditions are unsanitary, and where their policy, the government's policy, that British flag waving policy, is one of deliberate hostility towards migrants and other people coming here for legitimate reasons, who have a right to be here. Yeah. Be careful waving your Union Jack. Flag wavers always worry me. Yeah? Not because I'm saying that flag waving is part of fascism. You know, it's not. Fascist states wave flags. Yes, of course. Other states wave flags. Of course. Yes, I get that. But what is behind this British nationalism, this little Englishness, is pretty dangerous. It's pretty foul. It's pretty disgusting. What is behind a lot of this is the kind of greed and whatever that the Tory party pursue. And one final thing to think about. I think the Tories have U-turned on this one now. I'm not sure. Both of my sons have Asperger's syndrome, a form of autism. I believe it's often called high-functioning autism. There's an article in the Mirror today where a 16-year-old lad got a phone call from his GP, I believe, while he was still in hospital. He had, I think it was cancer, or he had some severe asthma or whatever. And as well as asking him, did he have enough supplies for the asthma and whatever, the GP surgery said, and by the way, would you be prepared to sign a do not resuscitate order if anything happens to you during COVID? Yeah. He, of course, said, I'm 16 years old. There's no way I'm going to sign that. His mother described him as an absolute fighter. Yeah. But I want you to look again, just at one other thing, which is another example of how far down the fascist road we have gone. It was kind of assumed that disabled people, particularly people with autistic disorders and people perhaps unable to speak for themselves or take care of themselves due to the nature of their condition, there was kind of this assumption within the Tories that really they should be signing DNR orders, because really, what is their life worth? What is their life worth? Yeah? Just wanted to put this lot before you. I'm not saying, but I mean, and then just to go back a little bit. I mean, what do we mean by being a patriot? What would a real patriot do? Would they want to care for their country? Would they want to care for it as a whole? Would they want to care for its citizens, that they were properly looked after, properly provided for, given full access to medical care? Would they want their fellow countrymen to be offered support when they are out of work? Would they want their fellow countrymen not having to live on the streets? Would they care about their old people? Would they care about their sick people? Would they care that morally this is a good country that cares and that presents to the world an image of a united people who care not just for themselves, but for others? Would that not be a good thing to be if you were a patriot? Yeah? I'm afraid the Tories' version of patriotism is really rather different. Take care, folks. Please feel free to share this at will. Bye.